Your Side Tonight with Jamie Boll starts now.
Thanks for sticking with us here at 7:30. It was late in the afternoon on Tuesday. Highway Patrol troopers say they saw a car whiz by on Highway 64 near the Iredell-Alexander County line. They threw on their lights, but they say the driver did not pull over. The pursuit took them down the also-common narrow country roads we have around here. We're told troopers performed a couple different immobilization techniques, but despite those efforts, the driver kept going after ramming patrol cars. The result was this. The driver, Herman Eugene Williams Jr., didn't stop until he crossed the center line and hit a semi head-on. He was hurt along with two troopers. These kinds of things are heart-pounding in the movies, but they're scary in real life. As we dug deeper into this, we found the U.S. Justice Department says that vehicular pursuits are the most dangerous of all ordinary police activities. The San Francisco Chronicle showed that at least 3,336 people died in pursuits in the U.S. between 2017 and 2022. And there are many more close calls. Remember this crazy scene in Charlotte back in 2022? A home break-in led to a pursuit. There was this nasty collision here in Ballantyne. After the wreck, the suspect jumped into the vehicle of a Good Samaritan. Carrie Ann Curtis had popped out of her SUV to check on the person hit. Her vehicle would end up crashed there, short time later in South End.
I am experiencing panic attacks, when I get close to a red light. I'm thankful that, it had the outcome it did, because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, thankfully no one was seriously hurt in that case, but as said, it could have been a whole lot worse. When you hear about a police chase, you often hear how it ends, whether that's an arrest or a crash or, as we just highlighted, both. But tonight we're investigating how many of these pursuits start. National data shows about 90% are triggered by a traffic violation. And as mentioned, some end with innocent people hurt or killed. We do want to note, our main story tonight does have some unsettling video. Investigative reporter Cynthia Beasley has our report.
By the way, they was going so fast, you could just hear the wind blowing off of them.
I asked Kelly, I said, it's a beautiful night out. You want to take a ride or you want to turn around and go back the way we came? And she said, let's take a ride. Let's go through Iowa.
Come through Iowa right now.
Looking back, we probably should have turned around.
So I didn't hear the police. I didn't.
Just a flash of blue light,
Yep.
and then it was.
And then we were hit.
I don't remember much after that.
Passion Wallace remembers everything.
We got off the motorcycle and seen this car in front of me just like burning, and didn't know where she was.
The impact launched Kelly Phillips from their motorcycle.
I started screaming. I was shaking her, trying to wake her up, and she wasn't responding to anything. I thought she was dead.
Phillips was severely injured.
Everything hurt.
Those injuries, physical and mental.
She saw everything, and I only saw darkness.
Why am I here? And why did he lose his life?
72-year-old Joseph Gardner was in the car that caught fire after the suspect hit them. The driver of that car survived, but was injured.
When he woke me up, the car was on fire on top of us.
In an interview with South Carolina Highway Patrol after the crash, the driver says he and Gardner were going to the store.
Okay. Just left my home. We didn't make it far at all.
When you heard what he was charged with, when you heard why they were chasing him, what was the first thing you thought?
That is insane. Are you serious?
Michael Trotter pleaded guilty to several charges after running from police, leading to Gardner's death and the other victims' injuries. As for what happened before he ran from police, Trotter pleaded guilty to driving under suspension, using a license plate that wasn't registered to the car, and having an open container of alcohol in the car.
Police are here to serve and protect. They take an oath to protect us. And where was my protection? Where was Kelly's protection? Where was the man that got killed in this accident? Where was his protection?
Since the crash, 3 lawsuits have been filed on behalf of the victims against the Abbeville County Sheriff's Office and the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. All lawsuits allege negligence, saying deputies should have stopped chasing Trotter. In an interview with South Carolina Highway Patrol, the deputy says he tried to pull Trotter over because he was swerving. And when Trotter drove off, he chased him.
He never really had control of the vehicle. I made a determination that with him heading towards Iowa with a fireworks show and still having people still coming out, I'd rather have lights and sirens so people hear and see us coming.
I'm just glad that he didn't come through there, 15 minutes earlier, because he'd have killed everybody at the fireworks stand.
The man killed and the 3 people hurt in this chase are a part of a scary trend as the number of deadly police chases increases across the country. Innocent people are often the ones injured. National data shows from 2009 to 2013, there were 2 serious injuries and 10 minor injuries for every 100 pursuits. 21% of those hurt weren't involved in the chase.
I understand that fleeing from the police is a very stupid thing to do and you shouldn't do it, but at some point there has to be an adult in the room, and it isn't going to be the guy who's fleeing.
Jeff Alpert, a professor at the University of South Carolina, has been researching police pursuits for more than 30 years. He was one of several people who worked on a report for the federal government that came up with recommendations for police departments when it came to high-speed chases. The report suggests officers only pursue a suspect if a violent crime has been committed or if the suspect could commit another violent crime. The report also gives recommendations on pursuing people who drive recklessly.
These suspects who are fleeing from the police are glued to their rear view and side view mirrors. So they're looking behind them to see what the police are doing, not in front of them to see what's there. So if you're not driving, quote, normally, if you're driving under the influence of something, the last thing we want them to do is speed up.
The report and Alpert say in a case of reckless driving, the need to catch the suspect will not outweigh the risks of the pursuit.
It reminds me of the time I was giving a talk at a MAD meeting. And I remember a woman came up to me and she was actually shaking. I'll never forget this. She said, "There's only one thing worse than a drunk on the street, and that's a drunk being chased by a police officer."
The report cites a study that shows after police terminate a chase, suspects slowed down after 90 seconds. Another study says GPS technology found in less than 2 minutes on average, suspects returned to driving within 10 miles per hour of the speed limit after officers disengage.
They're not going to drive from here to Atlanta at these breakneck speeds, and hopefully they'll slow down quickly. And that's really public safety is the goal. We want to have the public safer, and the apprehension, while it's important, is really secondary to that public safety.
Cynthia Beasley, WBTV, on your side.
Cynthia, thank you. Now be sure to tune in tomorrow when Cynthia will show you the training officers undergo to handle these chases. We'll show you the driving course they learn on and when police decide a chase is necessary. We're on your